Hi friends and welcome back to my channel and welcome to July's TBR. In this monthly TBR we have a travel TBR, we have the yearly readathons, we also have our first official book club pick of the Spinebreaker book club, insane, then just so many other books I wish to read for various reasons and I'm very excited to talk to you about them. I know as always that this is going to look like a very optimistic TBR, but we will discuss that and we will get to that. Of course I need to start this TBR by talking about the book club that I just launched and the book that we're reading for that book club. So if you haven't seen the video, I will link it. For the month of July we are reading a Spinebreaker book, which is basically a heavy book or a long book. You can find more information in that video. There's also an Instagram, a fable. The first official pick of the Spinebreaker book club is The Sword of Kaigen by Emily Wong. This is a chunker, okay? It's not only is it long and thick, it's heavy. Something with this particular publication of this edition makes it very heavy. I feel like the weight of the paper is quite heavy. So it's a perfect Spinebreaker book. It's a perfect pick. I feel like it encapsulates the theme and vibe of the book club and also of me, my interests, my type of reading. The Sword of Kaigen, it's a stand-alone epic adult fantasy. I believe it's a Japanese-inspired military fantasy with a lot of family drama in it. I've seen people bawl their eyes out to this one. I've only seen it being praised actually, so I'm very excited to read this one. My edition of it is a bit over 600 pages. It's been a while since I read big epic fantasies, but I will definitely do more of that this summer in July and August. This will be read throughout July, and I do hope to film a spoiler-filled vlog of me reading this as well that I will post to the channel for the book club. It won't be a read for my first few weeks in July. I will attempt to read this in like the last 2 weeks, if that's possible. In July I'm going traveling. I'm having my summer holiday break. So me and some friends are heading to Spain, as we've done for the last few years together. I usually read quite a lot there. It's usually a very slow, chill, relaxed beach holiday. Tanning, swimming in the ocean, reading a lot. Typically I read about 4 books while I'm there, I think. I've done it the previous years at least. So I do have a hefty TBR, although I do think that this time I won't read as much. And that's because I very randomly got the idea that I'm gonna go for getting a diving certificate while I'm there this year. I've never expressed any interest in having a diving certificate. But it's my 4th year going to this place. I know there's a scuba diving center very close to the house we stay at. And I heard some colleagues talk about it and I thought, just why not? I think it's like 3 or 4 half days during the trip where I will be learning how to dive. So I'm currently reading up on like theory and how like pressure affects the body and the risks and all the gear and things like that. Wish me luck, because once again I've never expressed any interest in this. So it's a very spontaneous thing, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to flex, hopefully, having a diving certificate. Will I ever use it again? I have no freaking clue. But it sure as hell is going to be an adventure, and I'm very excited for that in particular. So because of that, I might not have as much time to read as I've had on previous trips, I think, but I'm still gonna be ambitious. So far I have picked out 4 books that I will bring with me. I'm looking to add maybe another, and I might also bring my Kobo. I have actually made a few TikToks. One I've already posted, and the second one I will post when I upload this video, I think, where you can help me choose my travel TBR. So I want possibly another fantasy pick and possibly a romance mystery sort of pick. So there will be 2 TikToks for you to vote on, and you can actually help influence what books I bring with me to Spain. First pick for Spain, which was a no-brainer. Because for me, the last few years, or every year I've gone to Spain, I have brought a book by this author. And that is Brandon Sanderson. Reading Brandy Sandy while on vacay in Spain is just something I'm doing now. So this year I'm bringing Warbreaker because I'm finally continuing my Cosmere journey. My intention is to read his books more frequently. So far it's been like once a year. I have read Mistborn Era 1 and I have looked up reading orders for Brandon Sanderson's books. My conclusion is that I should read Warbreaker next. I've also read Elantris, by the way, but my conclusion is that I should read Warbreaker next, which is a standalone novel, and then I can jump into the Stormlight Archive. And I will read the Stormlight Archive before reading Mistborn Era 2. So I'm very excited about reading Warbreaker because I've heard great things about this novel, and I'm very excited to reach the point where I will be able to read the Stormlight Archive, but I'm also very scared about reading the Stormlight Archive. As of now, there are 5 books that are all like 1200 pages each. This story is about 2 sisters and a god king and an immortal trying to undo the mistakes he made hundreds of years ago. It's a world transformed by biochromatic magic, a power based on an essence known as breath, which can only be collected 1 unit at a time from individual people. But it's worth it. By using breath and drawing upon the color in everyday objects, all manner of miracles and mischief can be performed. Don't know much more than that, other than it uses color for magic, I think. But I've heard great things about it. And it's another chunker. It's 600 pages. I know. These 2 books alone could have been my travel TBR. It could have been my July TBR, most likely. But once again, I'm being very optimistic. But I know I can fly through the Brandon Sanderson books. Previously, I've read his books in like 3-4 days max. I'm hoping for that, and we're gonna see what happens. The book I will pick up ASAP in July, probably my first read, most likely, is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I have only heard amazing things about this book ever since it was published, and since I bought it just a week ago while I was in Prague. You can see my Prague vlog somewhere, and I've also made TikToks about it. But ever since I picked it up, I've continuously only heard good things about it. Because I only hear so much good about it, it has become a predicted 5-star read. And I want to start out with that. I feel like this could be epic, so I'm very, very excited to get to this one. It's also a short read, it's less than 200 pages. I think it can be really interesting. I'm scared to be let down, but I don't think I'm gonna be let down by this one. I really don't. 39 women that are imprisoned in a cage underground. They have no memory of how they got there, no notion of time, and only vague recollections of their lives before, and they are watched over by guards. And then there's a young girl who is the 40th prisoner, who is sort of an outcast, but she will somehow be the key to the others' escape and survival in this strange world that awaits them above. I'm very excited to form my own opinion about this one, and I feel like it's gonna be epic. I wanted to bring a non-fiction. I think it's nice to have a non-fiction while I go traveling, but I didn't want a big non-fiction. I didn't want something preachy. I didn't want something that feels like a chore or too self-help. So I'm bringing a memoir, and the memoir I'm taking with me is Surviving to Drive by Gunther Steiner. And I feel like this is the perfect pick. I think this is gonna be so entertaining. I'm gonna hear his voice while reading this. Gunther Steiner was the team principal of the Haas team in Formula 1 for many years. He hasn't been for the last 2 years, I think. And he's such an icon. If you have watched Drive to Survive, he has so many iconic scenes and quotes, and he's just a real character. He has this very strong German accent when he speaks. He's very funny, he doesn't really care. So my friends got this for me for Christmas, I think it was a Christmas gift, and I'm so happy about it. I have a feeling this can be a quick and entertaining read, actually. Once again, it's not that long, less than 300 pages, and it looks like it's sort of told through like almost diary entries, like dated chapters. So it's like time and place. And there's also some photos in it. I think this can be a fun beach read. I don't know. It feels like the perfect choice. The 4th book I'm bringing with me is a different choice. I do have my reason for this one. So I'm bringing The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, a retelling by Peter Ackroyd. This is a book I picked up last year while I was in Canterbury with my friends, and I want to read this because I want to prepare for Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. So R.F. Kuang is coming out with her book Catabasis in like August. I have pre-ordered the copy from Broken Binding, very excited about that. I've seen a bunch of people make videos, TikToks about books you should read in preparation for Catabasis. Now, it's not required reading. You don't need to read other books in order to be able to read and understand and enjoy Calabasas. But from what I've heard, she has pulled a lot of inspiration from other works. So I did make like a list of some books that people have mentioned that are recommended to read. And I would like to make maybe a vlog about the books you should read, or about me attempting to read those required reading books in preparation for Calabasas. I have pulled out a few books, and I have some others in mind that I'm hoping to read before I get Calabasas. And if I can't read them before that, no biggie, but I will make an attempt at least. So one of the books on that list is The Canterbury Tales. I don't remember why, but I did realize that, well, I do own that book. So it's a perfect time for me to pick up this classic. I really don't know much about the Canterbury Tales, so let's read it back a bit. A group of travelers are going to Canterbury and have agreed to a storytelling competition. As they make their way on the road, they drink, laugh, flirt, argue, and try to outdo each other with their tales of love and lust, tricksters and traitors, heroes and villains, betrayal and murder. Here are the best stories ever told, retold for our times by best-selling author Peter Ackroyd. So here are like all the stories. So we have like a prologue, the Knight's Tale, the Miller's prologue and tale, the Cook's prologue and tale, the Friar's prologue and tale, the Summoner's prologue and tale, the Cleric's prologue and tale, Franklin's prologue and tale, Monk's prologue and tale, Second Nun's prologue and like there's plenty of people. Just look at this and imagine holding this on like a sun chair. Epic, right? And also this one is so beautiful. I love this cover. On the topic of reading books in preparation for Calabasas, another one I really want to get to, and I'm putting on my July TBR, but I will read it once I'm back in Sweden, is Dante's Inferno. This is being mentioned as required reading in preparation for Calabasas. Calabasas is about, I think it's about a scholar's descent to hell, and I think Dante's Inferno is also sort of about someone's descent to hell. And I also picked this up while I was in Canterbury last year, and I also think this cover is gorgeous, and I love that they sort of match. They are both red at least, and as you know, I love red. One man's horrifying journey into the depths of hell. It's the first part of Dante's Divine Comedy, and it's a soaring spiritual epic that continues to echo throughout the centuries with its moving portrayal of human sin and the tragedy of those condemned to eternal damnation. It's told in like this poetry style. What do you call it? I don't remember what you call it when it's like numbered in this way. It's like a play, I guess, or something. So I do feel like that might put me off a bit, because I'm not used to reading that. It's written in a way that makes me think it's gonna be a quick read, but I also think it's gonna be difficult to understand. So that was my book club book. We have my travel TBR with hopefully some additional picks, because why not? We have the books I hope to read before getting to Calabasas. Also, I need to shout out, because I still haven't gotten my hands on it. My Friends by Fredrik Backman. They still don't sell it in Sweden, and it's been a week since the release date now. So My Friends might also be on this TBR. So then, of course, the final section we need to talk about, the final category of books, Buzzwordathon books. I'm still doing my year-long challenge of Buzzwordathon, which is like prompts that comes monthly. We have the title prompts and we have the cover prompts. The Buzzwordathon title prompt is punctuation. To read a book with punctuation in the title, so like an exclamation point, a question mark, a comma, a dot, whatever. Somehow, out of all of the books I've talked about, none of these books have any of that. So I pulled out some options that I might get to. Realistically, I probably won't read these in July, but it's just fun to match a book to a prompt, okay? I pulled out 4 books with punctuation in them. First option, which is probably the one I'm most excited about, is Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh. This is a TBR vet. I've had this on my bookshelf for a while now. I guess it's a fantasy romance, or like urban fantasy romance. Paranormal fantasy. It's vampires. It's a vampire hunter. And I've heard great things about the series actually. I think it's a bit older. It's about a vampire hunter who knows that she's the best. She's hired by the dangerously beautiful Archangel Raphael, and he's very seductive, apparently. I know this is a series, a long series I think as well, that is very popular. The cover speaks to me. It's got angel wings, it's red. We have angel in the title. This is one of the options. Nettle and Bone is another one. Here it says and like this, but I think, am I wrong? Now I see that it says and like written out. I thought it was one of those ampersands. So maybe this isn't an option actually. Putting that aside. One that has an ampersand. Bookshops and Bone Dust. Here we have ampersand. This is a prequel to Legends and Lattes. Cozy fantasy, high fantasy, low stakes. We're following our orc Viv again. It's about a secondhand bookshop, I think. It's just gonna be a cozy read once I finally get to it. And then another one with some sort of punctuation. Welcome to the Hyunamdong bookshop. We have this this line here, I don't know what you call it. And it's about a bookshop in a neighborhood in Seoul. And I think it's just like the everyday stories of the customers and the owners' experience and things like that. Probably other options on my bookshelves as well, but those are the ones I'm most likely to pick up. Other Buzzwordathon challenge is for cover, and the cover challenge is technology. So to pick a book with some sort of technology on the cover. And Kayla basically explained it as if it needs a battery or if you need to plug it in, then it counts. And I actually have a good choice for this one. A lot of my picks are fantasy and those typically don't have technology in them. A book that has technology on the cover is the memoir Surviving to Drive. We have both the headphones and also the actual car. The car goes on a battery. The headphones need to be plugged in to work. Perfect choice. Thank you. This will motivate me to read this even more. And it's also on my 25 books to read in 2025. So like it's a perfect pick for everything. I couldn't be more excited. That's all of the books as of now. You might be thinking, Charlotte, you don't need any other books on your vacation, especially if you're bringing your Kobo. And to that my answer is, but I want a romance. Please pick a romance for me. I want like something cozy to read on the beach, like a romance mystery, something like that. And also there's so many I feel like summer is the time to read your long epic fantasies, because that's when you have the time to focus and be fully invested. Because yes, it might be more with the season to read epic fantasies in like fall or winter, but usually you don't have the time for that because you have work and you never have the time to truly engage and like dive into the story in that way. So please check out those polls, I guess, and give me your input. This is what the stack is looking like currently. Will I be able to read all of this? Probably no, but it's fun to pretend like I'm going to. I want to pretend like I'm going to read this. And also my friends. My friends has somehow become a July read, because I couldn't get my hands on it in either May or June. And that sucks. That's my July TBR and I'm very excited. Also wish me luck on my diving certificate. That's the most random thing. And also check out the Spinebreaker book club if you would like to. I understand that the Sword of Kagen might not be everyone's first choice. And it might be intimidating, and I know it's also short notice for you to get the book if you don't have it, so I totally understand that. I'm just gonna shout it out. Please share your July TBR with me, I would love to hear about it. And thank you so much for watching this video, I really hope you enjoyed it. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!